When people talk about AI making everyone more productive, they usually miss the most important part, which is that AI doesn't magically create agency. It amplifies whatever agency is already there. So the real multiplier only shows up when a high agency person gets access to powerful tools. A high agency person already operates from the assumption that outcomes are theirs to create, that waiting is optional, that learning happens through action, and that ambiguity is something to move through instead of something to hide from. And AI plugs directly into that mindset. Low agency people ask AI what to do. High agency people tell AI what they're trying to build. That difference alone explains most of the gap. High agency people don't use AI as a crutch. They use it as leverage because they already know how to frame problems, make decisions, and move without permission. And AI collapses the distance between intent and execution so aggressively that momentum becomes almost automatic. This is why when high agency is combined with AI, things don't just move faster. Decisions happen, drafts exist, options get tested, feedback shows up, work actually gets done. The reason productivity explodes here is that AI removes friction from the exact places high agency people already feel constrained. It reduces the cost of starting, it reduces the cost of iterating, and it reduces the cost of being wrong and correcting fast. A high agency person doesn't hesitate because they lack confidence. They hesitate because time, attention, and energy are limited, and AI blows holes in those limits. And this connects to something deeper about how high agency people operate. High agency people are extremely protective of their time and energy, not because they're lazy or minimalist, but because they understand that creation requires surplus. And surplus disappears when your calendar, attention, and emotional bandwidth are constantly being drained. They know that if their time gets fragmented, their thinking gets shallow, and if their energy gets depleted, their output gets reactive instead of intentional. So they aggressively eliminate friction along before it becomes exhaustion. They avoid unnecessary meeting, over coordination, and performative work, not because they don't care, but because none of that creates outcomes. And every hour spent explaining, waiting, or justifying is an hour not spent building, deciding, or improving something real. High agency people don't want to be busy, they want to be effective. They think in terms of energy return on effort. If something costs more energy than the value it produces, they question it, redesign it, automate it, delegate it, or delete it because wasted energy today becomes slower creation tomorrow. This is another reason AI fits them so well. AI absorbs low leverage cognitive work, which preserves mental energy for judgment, creativity, and direction, the things only humans can do well. Instead of burning energy on blank pages, repetitive analysis, or administrative drag, high agency people stay in creation mode longer, which compounds output over time. When you combine agency with AI, decisions get made faster because research, synthesis, and comparison stop being bottlenecks, which means momentum increases and momentum compounds. Output increases because the distance between idea and artifact shrinks dramatically. Instead of ideas sitting in someone's head for weeks, they become drafts, prototypes, models, plans, scripts, or experiments in minutes, which means learning accelerates and quality improves through iteration instead of perfectionism. Growth accelerates because high agency people already expect to adapt mid flight, and AI makes adaptation cheap and fast. If something doesn't work, they don't spiral or stall. They reframe, reprompt, adjust, and try again because the cost of another attempt is low and the upside of learning is high. This is where the pairing becomes peak optimal. High agency provides direction, AI provides speed. High agency decides what matters, AI removes the drag. High agency takes responsibility, AI absorbs the busy work. Together, shit gets done. Not eventually, not after alignment meetings, now. But here's the deeper layer people miss. High agency isn't just a behavior you turn on when it's convenient. It's an identity you operate from, and that identity includes a deep respect for your own finite time and energy. High agency people don't equate effort with value. They equate outcomes with value, and they understand that creativity, problem solving and building require clear mental space. They design their days to protect long stretches of uninterrupted focus because that's where real work happens. And they push back hard against anything that constantly breaks attention, even if it's socially acceptable or culturally expected. They don't multitask because multitasking fractures agency. They don't overcommit because overcommitment creates resentment and drains energy. They don't stay in environments that constantly exhaust them because exhaustion makes people passive, and passivity is the opposite of agency. This is why high agency people leave micromanaged environments, chaotic teams, and low trust cultures faster than others because those environments tax energy without producing creation, and they know that staying too long costs them more than leaving. This pairing also changes how thinking itself works. High agency people already think in outcomes, constraints, and trade offs, and AI is extremely good at expanding solution space once the problem is framed clearly, which means better options show up faster with less mental load. The person still decides, but the quality of the decision improves because they're seeing more angles without burning energy. This is why AI doesn't replace judgment. It rewards it. High agency people don't ask AI for answers. They ask it for possibilities, pressure tests, second order effects, and edge cases, and then they choose and move. They use AI to think faster, not just work faster, by dumping messy thoughts into it and forcing clarity, which results in cleaner decisions and less cognitive drag. They use AI to short circuit research loops so momentum doesn't die while they're still looking into it. They use AI to generate first drafts aggressively because they understand that iteration beats hesitation every time. They use AI to simulate outcomes before committing so downside stays manageable while speed stays high. They use AI under pressure to clarify thinking, sharpen communication, and prepare for hard conversations so execution stays calm and precise. They use AI to eliminate low leverage work so their time and energy stay anchored in judgment, direction, and next moves. And the outcomes are consistent: more output with less effort, faster learning with less stress, better decisions with less overthinking, more attempts with less fear, more control with less exhaustion. This is why high agency founders with AI can do the work of entire teams, why leaders with AI stay ahead without becoming controlling, and why operators with AI consistently outpace people who are just as smart but constantly drained. There's also a psychological effect people underestimate. High agency people already believe their actions matter, and AI reinforces that belief by responding immediately, producing progress on demand, and tightening the loop between intention and outcome. That loop builds confidence, speed, and willingness to act because effort reliably creates movement. On the other side, low agency people often feel overwhelmed by AI because without clear intent, AI produces more options than direction and more noise than leverage. AI doesn't fix indecision, it exposes it. This is why the same tool makes some people exponentially more productive and others more stuck. High agency people thrive with AI because they're comfortable steering. They know where they're going, even if the path changes. And AI becomes a co pilot that handles mechanics while they stay responsible for direction. And this compounds. As high agency people use AI, they get better at framing problems, directing tools, and extracting value, which increases output, which increases learning, which increases confidence, which increases agency. It's a flywheel. Agency makes AI useful. AI makes agency scalable. Together, they redefine what one person can realistically do in a day. So here's the call to action, and it's simple. If you want to do more with less time and less energy, prioritize becoming high agency first, not as a tactic, but as an identity. Protect your time, protect your energy, design for creation. Don't chase tools before responsibility. Don't chase speed before ownership. Agency is the multiplier, AI is the accelerator. When you combine the two, work stops feeling heavy, progress stops feeling slow, and results stop being theoretical. High agency plus AI is peak optimal. Things move, things deliver, things compound. And the people who internalize this don't just work faster, they create more with less friction and they stay in the game longer. If you find this content helpful, please support my channel and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.